absolutely fantastic! The best figure of our iconic three-headed golden dragon is here. First, let's crack this bad boy open. Hiya Toys Exquisite Basic King Ghidorah 2019. Hiya Toys has done a fantastic job bringing to life King Ghidorah 2019 under their Exquisite Basic line with a fantastic sculpt, paint apps, and full range of articulation. Before we find out how fantastic King Ghidorah is, give this video a like, share, and subscribe. I believe King Ghidorah is in the 7-inch scale. Let me all know in the comments below if this is correct. King Ghidorah stands roughly 14 inches tall, 12 inches head to tail, and is 22 inches wide wing to wing. King Ghidorah looks great next to our other Hiya Toys figures. King Ghidorah dwarfs our S.H.MonsterArts figures, but looks okay next to some of our larger S.H.MonsterArts figures. King Ghidorah stands tall over our S.H. Figuarts Ultraman figures, but looks great next to our larger Chogokin figures from various lines. The scale checks out, now let's see how well King Ghidorah can move. Starting with the heads, we can look up, down, left, right. The head is on a nice ball joint. The mouths can open up nice and wide. Inside of the mouths, we can actually move the tongue up and down, which is pretty cool. The necks are comprised of several solid, sturdy ball joints. These are very posable and very cool. Now, something I noticed about the necks, it does seem like there's a little bit of pre-posing. So we come down from the head just about to the midpoint of the neck and kind of see there's like this natural curve that will not seem to come out. So I guess it can't fully straighten out, but it's fine. Moving down to the upper chest, we can lean forward, backward, twist side to side, and lean side to side. Moving on to our massive wings. The outer shoulder joint here can actually rotate, which is very cool. The shoulder joint supporting the wings can rotate and hinge in and out, which is very nice. Coming out to the edge of our wings, the first 3 panels are on joints that can hinge and rotate, which is very cool. So we can grab this topmost portion, we can rotate and hinge. The second part, rotate and hinge. Third part, rotate and hinge, which is really cool. Also, on the second, third, and fourth portion of the wings, there are slots to put each wing panel into, so we have a nice, flush, solid wings. Really nice here. Coming down, the bottom portion of the wing can rotate and hinge as well. It also has a slot on the top for proper wing alignment. Moving down to the legs, we can kick forward this much, backward this much, come to the side this much. We have a thigh swivel. We have a nice bend in the knees. We have a swivel at the knees. We have a nice bend here at the ankle, or I guess we'll say the shin here. We have a nice bend here and a slight rotation. Then the feet can tilt and swivel freely. And then finally, we have our pair of long, ball-jointed tails with our nice large clubs at the end. These are very solid, very posable, and very cool. These tails turned out really nice here. Really cool. Now, one of the coolest things about this figure is its ability to go into a crawling pose. I have to admit it took me forever to get King Ghidorah into a crawling pose. Since I'm new to this line and I'm not aware of the joint tolerances, I handled every joint with extreme delicacy. Looking back, I think I was being a little overly cautious, but I want to tell you, make sure to handle the joints with care. To get the wings folded properly, you will need to rotate the wings and the joint into the proper direction. I noticed when you try to rotate the wings, the joints do not always rotate with them. So I think the best thing you should do is first rotate the joint, hold the joint in place, and then rotate the wings. That way everything is in place and you can smoothly and carefully line things up so it folds nicely. Once everything is in place, King Ghidorah looks absolutely fantastic in this cool pose. When it comes to Sculpt and Paint apps, King Ghidorah is absolutely fantastic. Starting from the top, we have our three fantastic heads with a weathered golden, scaly, detailed, textured sculpt. We have long textured horns and spines on the top of the head. The eyes have a nice orange menacing sculpt with black pupils. The mouth has a great sculpt with semi-sharp weathered bone teeth, fleshy inner details, and tongue. I really love all of the details here. The necks have a long detailed scaly sculpt. On the underside, we have a series of large smoother plates. As we transition to the back of the neck, the scaly sculpt becomes tighter. On the back of the necks, we have our series of spines, and now the scale pattern is very tight and nicely textured. The chest has a bulky, scaly, muscular sculpt. We have the softer plates going down the center of the chest, while the rest of the chest and upper torso have the tighter textured scaly pattern. The wings have a massive textured sculpt. The forearms have the tighter scale pattern. The wing membrane has a textured sculpt with subtle folds and veins. At the end of each finger, we have sharp bone spines. The legs have a muscular scaly sculpt with longer spines on the thighs. The feet have a massive powerful sculpt with sharp nails. Finally, we have our long pair of scaly tails with a smoother pattern on the underside and our signature scaly sharp spike clubs at the end. Now let's compare Hiya Toys King Ghidorah 2019 with our S.H.MonsterArts King Ghidorah 2019 special color version. I didn't bother pulling out the original MonsterArts 2019 release. We all know how rough that one was. Now, what does the Hiya Toys version have over our S.H.MonsterArts version? Starting off sculpt-wise, Hiya has a film-accurate sculpt. Having the two together, you can really see the liberties MonsterArts took with the sculpt. With the heads, it feels like MonsterArts peppered in hints of the original King Ghidorah's design. Hiya set out to be as movie accurate as possible, and I think they nailed it. The scales on both figures look fantastic, but Hiya edges it out. The Hiya scales are more movie accurate, have a bit more depth and more variation. The scales on the MonsterArts are a series of overlapping sharp plates, and again you have that original King Ghidorah peppering here. The legs on both figures have a powerful sculpt, but again, Hiya's scales just flat out look better. The wings on both figures are massive and they look great, but the extra details and veins on the Hiya look better. When it comes to articulation, the necks on the MonsterArts have a better range of motion and are fully posable. On the Hiya, the necks can move quite a bit, but not as much nor as smooth as the MonsterArts. It feels like the top portion of the necks are slightly pre-posed. You can see there's kind of this like natural default bend to them just below the head. I can't seem to get them to fully straighten out. Now, I feel like there's a chance I am not flexing these joints all the way out, but I kind of feel like it would require way too much pressure to straighten these out all the way, so I really do think these are pre-posed. But again, it's not that big of a deal. Now, something that absolutely kills the MonsterArts release is Hiya including articulated solid wings, which is absolutely fantastic. Each part of the wing is articulated, giving us the ability to put King Ghidorah in a crawling pose. This is something the MonsterArts version flat out cannot do, and it's a massive miss. On the MonsterArts version, the wings are two large solid unmovable pieces of plastic. The wings can only move at the shoulder joint. Hands down, Hiya has made the better King Ghidorah 2019 figure. The sculpt is more accurate and the figure is more posable. Even if the sculpt was not as accurate as it is, the articulated wings alone outshines the S.H.MonsterArts version. Sadly, I'm going to have to put my MonsterArts King Ghidorah back in the box and storm away in the closet. There's a new Apex King Ghidorah 2019 figure in town, and it's made by Hiya Toys. For accessories, King Ghidorah comes with a solid set of support stands. We have two supports for the wings and one cradle for the body. King Ghidorah can stand fine on his own, but having a little bit of extra support doesn't hurt. Now, King Ghidorah does not come with any type of breath effect parts, but if you just so happen to be an avid S.H.MonsterArts collector, you can easily remedy that. Now, let's do some city building. As a whole, King Ghidorah turned out to be absolutely fantastic. The sculpt is fantastic, the paint-ups are clean, we have nice accessories, and King Ghidorah is fully posable. This really is the best articulated King Ghidorah 2019 figure, and it is a must-buy. I'm late to the party when it comes to Hiya Toys, but I like every release so far. I'm really looking forward to future releases and seeing this line evolve. Now we'll see if and how MonsterArts responds with future releases. I absolutely recommend picking up King Ghidorah. Now, how much does King Ghidorah cost? I imported my Hiya Toys Exquisite Basic King Ghidorah 2019 figure directly from the Hiya Toys website for a total of $110. Shipping was only $50, so the grand total was $160. To see more Hiya Toys reviews or another absolutely fantastic review, click the links on screen right now. Be sure to follow me on social media, definitely follow me on Twitch, and I'll see you guys in the next review.